And we can just dance the night away until we get no more. I'll shake all the hurt away so you can feel and forget who you used to be. For just tonight, could you just dance the night away?
Alright, so we are now going to try and fish. I was going to just do this heart mission, but then I realized it's actually a really good way to teach how bait affects everything. So we're going to buy 4 of the sardines. You do not have to buy this many. You can buy just a few at a time. I have the gold to spend or the silver to spend, so I don't mind. So I'm going to do this. And I'm also going to buy 2 lures of each type. I already have 1 lure of the... I already have 1 type of lure, which is the wooden ones. We're going to use the wooden ones first because I want to attempt to try and slowly progress this in to kind of like show you how the effectiveness changes based off that. So, first off, in order to equip it, you would do this. Obviously, I've already equipped bait because our lures already have it. Now, in order to use the bait, I've had a few people not know this. Sorry, this is all this stuff. You click it, and you left click it, and then you'll have bait. Now, you can put a full stack of 250 on your lure at one time. We're only going to put 100. We don't need a ton because I'm just demonstrating how this is going to work. And I'm also going to pull up the achievement, and we're going to do, like I said, we're going to look at cod. Use cod as your guide on what fishing holds you end up using. The reason for this is it gives you something to kind of look at, and it gives you a good guide. So for instance, we got a lot of fish in the pools and stuff, and we also got fish out in the open. Now, another thing, I've also keybind my fishing rod. As you'll notice, I can flip through it with really easily. I have mine to my middle mouse button. It's because I don't use my middle mouse button for anything in Guild Wars 2 specifically. But you'll notice you'll be able to pick up your tackle, and you can take all of these, and you can equip them, change them out. If you've got more bait, you'll be able to change them as you see fit. But I might go in here and unequip the food real quick, if I can. It may not let me. Hold on. It gets to be a little particular sometimes. I think it'll work if I put my lure stuff away. There, yeah. So as long as your stuff's away and your attacks are out, you'll be able to take it. Now the reason I'm going to do this is I'm going to show you how to fish without, in open water. So you'll hear open water a lot and you'll hear pools. This is a pool because it's got a little ripple, and this is open water. And in open water, you can fish wherever your fishing rod touches. There is a limited amount of fish that are in this particular pool, or in this particular thing. You won't catch legendaries and you won't catch pinks. You might catch some exotics though, and you might catch some rares, but you're never going to catch anything super fantastic out in open water. That's why pools are important. But you don't need to do that. When you're first getting the fishing, first thing that fishermen will do is they go for the crap fish, the fish that don't need anything. I caught that without any bait, but I do need lure. I think you need lure. I've never fished without lure. It's just cheaper. Now, when you're first starting out, if you can't afford the fancy kind, you're fine. Because later, when you start fishing in more bigger areas or different areas, you'll actually catch antique lures. So you may not even have to buy very many. I personally bought too much antique lures at first. That's why I said don't buy any more than like 2 bundles of them at a time. Because you're actually going to get that stuff back as time goes along. Like, because the antique lures are found in the water as a drop. So I don't suggest buying too many of them at once. Just enough to have a stack or 2 on you if you're going to be fishing for a little bit and you're still relatively new. I also used my fishing to pay for myself to have an unlimited lure when I first started, like on my main account instead of my alt. I might do the same thing with this account as well, just to showcase, again, how you can turn your game's gold to gems and therefore use it to upgrade your account to make things a little bit better without having to try and fork over a ton of money, $5 for the endless lure. If you want to end up spending real money in the game to buy an endless lure, by all means do it. I suggest it's actually worth it if you're gonna fish and you enjoy fishing. I do agree that it's something it's worth it in my opinion. But I enjoy fishing in the game, so I won't lie. But it will take you a little bit of time to get all of the fish. I'm currently just doing it until we get the heart. And I will also showcase what happens if you put in the pool. And I will also be explaining in a minute what a stack is. If you've noticed, I haven't gained any real stacks because of masteries and stuff. I think it's either that. Oh no, and that's what I was like. Wait, I was trying to think because I was remembering back to earlier when I was doing the heart and I didn't get a stack. You only get stacks from pools of water. So right now, I'm not getting any stacks from fishing in open water. So you can't do that to try and build your stacks. You have to do it via pool. Now, I don't know if it'll show up yet, but we're gonna put our to showcase the difference. I'm gonna hook this on, and I'm gonna stick my lure in here and showcase. Hoping it'll show the stacks. Because again, I can't remember if it's a mastery that you start seeing stacks or if it's just something that ends up becoming a thing when you start fishing on your own. Because I think fishing stack does, showcases. Alright, let's see if we can get it. Alright, we caught something. Yeah, so the stacks, you see that there's no stacks yet. That's what, when you're partying when you have the fishing party, it'll start showing like a little fish icon, and we'll point to it when we get to it. It's really important because it builds up your stacks and therefore builds up the fish that you have on your boat. And I don't think that this area is considered part of the heart, so it's not like that. I'm gonna try and get a little bit more. You'll also notice this saltwater fishery. Now, these are special things that you can get in open water, and they go across any salt thing. There's some of these fisheries that you're just going to have to kind of get lucky with. This one, world class, stuff like that. If you fish through all of the other cod fishing, like a masteries or the little achievement things, you'll almost come across almost all of them, I guarantee you. I've had people be like, how do we get world class? I'm like, just keep fishing. You'll get it. Like, eventually you'll end up getting it. That's all that matters. You'll eventually have all of the things you need. So some of the fishing achievements you won't have, it won't be as easy as just throwing the right bait down. It'll be something along the lines of, oh, I just kind of get lucky. And you will get lucky because of the fact that while there's a lot of fish in the game, you have better chances as you go along. Like, your luck will play a factor. Let's see. I was trying to see if he had anything right away. He's also got this. He's got minnows and stuff. These are also important for particular fish, too. I can't remember which one they are yet. Let me see here. Also, you'll notice that, like I said, they come in your inventory, and they are a material. So if you left-click on them, double-click, you'll be able to break them down. And you can also right-click them and say Use All, just like you would any gear in yours, too. And there you go. Now, these, the fine fillets and stuff, these fillets, I tell people if you're starting out fishing, save as much of them as you can. If you want to sell them, do so, but don't sell all of them, because as you go along, you're going to need those fillets because those get recycled. You get to use them, you get to upgrade them to better tiers of fish fillets, and then you get to upgrade them to better things, and then you can even upgrade them to ambergris, and essentially give yourself 5 ambergris extra daily by just fishing. Your fishing literally will give you stuff. So even if you don't catch a legendary, you don't catch any pinks, don't get nothing, you're almost guaranteed 5 ambergris if you keep fishing every day. And that's how intense how easy it can be, right? It's really like a nice type of thing to kind of build up. Another thing that I've said to people about keeping the flesh is that if you choose to end up leveling up your chef mastering, which I do suggest if you want to like save yourself some coin, you're gonna need some of those fish to make fish food. You're gonna need fish fillets. Normally, you're gonna need, depending on what you're using, I think the white fishing one requires either fine or something else. I can't remember exactly for sure, but it'll give you like I think the white fish is the blue fish fillet, but I can't remember for sure. But also make sure to check the game will tell you when your bait's running low, or your like lures and baits are low, or when you're out. But you need to pay attention to that because you'll miss out on opportunities if you're fishing with naked bait. As I was about to say, the other thing about as you've noticed, since recording this, my XP bar has went from here all the way up to here. And we've done maybe about 30 minutes of it, and I haven't even been fishing the whole time. I've been fishing very little of the time in comparison. So this is a very good way to like build up XP. And building that XP up will actually help you quite a bit. So getting the mastery points is probably going to be your hardest bit. This one is 20 mastery points. As you can see, I got 3 points from just doing the chapter 1. And you can get more masteries when you're doing the story by actually doing the achievements and stuff. I don't think I got any achievements the first time around. They'll be under this thing, under Cantha. You'll see these different masteries that you can get. Some of them are really easy. Some of them are just, doing silly little things. And then you also get them from your personal story. And I think this is the one. See, I had an opportunity to get 5 different, masteries. And I might go through and get these 5 masteries and see about doing that just to save us some time. But you'll need about 20 masteries to get through tier 1 of all the fish, to get through all the fishing. And I think 18's for this one. Oh no, this one's less than that. It's a little less than that. Anyways, but you'll definitely need about 20 for this one, and that will be a starting point. Trying to think. Also, another thing too about this bait, when you open it, you oftentimes will see that it's there in things. Obviously, each of them have different effects and stuff, or looks to them, because they're different types of baits. But certain fish will not respond to certain baits. Obviously, if you want sardine, it's not going to respond to shrimp. And in certain maps, you'll notice that there's a theme of things. And normally you can kind of tell based on the vendor. The vendors are normally selling their regional bait. Now, that's not necessarily always true, because you're going to run across vendors who also have mixed bags of bait. That's what I was going to get at. Sorry, I was trying to remember how I was getting back around to the baits. So this NPC, for instance, is a heart bait vendor, and they have karma, obviously. You can, a lot of players really liked getting the vest and stuff. These are little minions and stuff. But you'll notice this. It says, contains a variety of baits. Click to open. When you first start, you will be able to open this and get it. It's just kind of the starter thing. You open it, it'll give you some various of baits and stuff randomly. There will be bags like this that you come across in the story. There's some obviously extended stuff he has. Now, the reason this is important is there is going to be a bag you come across called, I think it's bag of worms, or bag of bait, or mixed bag of something. It's something like that. Bag of creepy crawlies. I think it's a bag of creepy crawlies. I'll showcase it when we find it, when we come across it. But it's important because some bait can't be bought. Some bait has to be gotten by simple drops, and the cheapest way to do it is to buy a bag of bait and hope you get it. Yeah, this one's the one with the clothing. So, yeah. Now, I'm also going to showcase the different pools. I'm sure you saw it in the first part of the video where we were driving around. These are shore bases, and they say rare fish right now, but this is part of the event for the heart. So they just exist. They don't really give you fish flesh. They're just kind of pools you can get for points. If that event is going on while you're doing the heart, I do suggest you do it. It's a lot faster. But there's shores, and then there's offshore spots. Normally, there's about 2 types of pools per map. But there's probably a few that have 3 maps, because lakes and sometimes exist. This is an offshore fish, and there's going to be certain fish that reside in here versus the offshore ones. Now, let me see what the mission says about this. And you can see where the progression on them is. Let's see. What do we have? These are shore ones. It is nighttime, if you can see down here where this little thing is. So it is going to be important to do, let's see. Do we have one that... Yes, offshores. Okay. So, if you... Hold up, that was not what I wanted. I didn't want it to go away like that. Here we go. Let's shoot this way. So, I have shrimps that I need to put on. We'll do this. Now, don't get too frustrated at first if you can't catch a legendary. And we may not even catch a legendary here. It's still worth a try. Now, that's because as you level up your mastery in fishing, on that, you will actually get, your drops will get better, because your fishing power by default will get stronger. And so don't get too frustrated. You can see how it's yellow right now. I can confirm that it is still possible to catch a fish on yellow or red. It's just more difficult and it takes a little bit more time. And that's going to matter later when you're fishing for fish. The faster you can catch fish, the better for it, but it's not really going to change quality. You're not going to have something slip off your hook just because you dare have, a yellow hook. Red's really difficult. But yeah, so when you first start out, you're probably only going to catch a lot of this crappy fish. Don't worry. And like I said, I've told people to level up the XP bar with fishing and then go get some mastery points, come back, do the same thing again. Eventually, you'll end up getting all the points you need. I say focus on one tab at a time. If you're very good at multitasking, then you can level it up and head through the entire story as you go along, because every map has its own sets of like pools and its own sets of baits with it. And like I said, if you ever get confused or you don't know what bait to look for or you're overwhelmed, I always say look back on the COD achievements and then just open up the SETI fishing or the fishing tab, or it'll be avid fishing. It'll be avid fishing if you've caught more than once. But it'll let you give you an opportunity to see things and like be able to like pick things and know what to look for. It also just gives you kind of like a task to work for. Because, it's a lot, it seems first. Once you get into it, it's not too bad. It's not too crazy and stuff. Alright, and you can see we got some stuff here. Alright, now another thing I'm going to do is we are actually going to head to my guild's... we're going to head, where's the... I'm trying to think of the nearest bank location. Because I'm trying to remember specific... things. I'm trying to remember if the because I think this not this map, but this map, Arborstone, is where you come across an area with you can get the market. We could actually do that. I think we would be able to actually head that way. We can actually probably head to the next map. It occurs to me that I don't think it's actually blocked by a actual event. I think you don't. We'll look. We'll check. I can't remember. When I first did it, I did it with story because I was exploring and I did fishing after I did the story. But we're gonna see. I'm gonna go see because I don't think I'm gonna catch a legendary until we've leveled it up a little bit. But now it made me curious because I wonder if we can make our way to Arborstone. Because once we've made our way to Arborstone, we can unlock Arborstone's mastery points, and then we can upgrade it. Because it is important to at least get the first tier of Arborstone's mastery lines at one point, because it unlocks an NPC that we want to talk to. I think it's the one that either sells us the good bait or it is the one that gives us the ascended rod. It's one of the two. Like, because you have to, don't get too intimidated by ascended rod or the spirit wood fishing rod. It's really not that hard to get compared to other ascended things. It's actually really easy compared to everything else because it's not, it takes a little bit of crafting material, but really it's not much of that crafting material. Versus like trying to craft a full thing. It's like two types of mats, and then you need karma, and obviously you need gold. And I think that's about it. I'll have to look it up later, but essentially it's not that bad. A lot of people in the guild got a little freaked out when they found out that it's gonna cost mats. They're like, oh my god, it's so expensive to make like ascended stuff. Don't worry, you're not like full crafting it. It's not like having to do gloves, redo leather bits, and then you have to do the lining and the guts for it. It's not like that. It's not bad. And also, by the time you get to the point where you're gonna even get to a fishing rod, like I said, it won't take you long. It's not like it's gonna be a necessity. You can fish without the ascended rod. It just gives you a nice boost. Again, the idea is to give yourself as much of an advantage as you can. Yeah, this is the door. I don't know if it'll let me go in. I hope it does. The idea is to give yourself the best advantage you can and the most advantage that you can. And like I said, it stacks. Everything kind of stacks up on its own. But we're going to see if we can get to Arborstone. So give me a second while I attempt to go from here to there. I'm probably not going to cut. I'm actually probably not going to cut this out or anything. I'm going to leave it as is because someone may end up following the pathway I took. Because this map, this city, is actually really cool, but it's also really big. It's not like super confusing. It's not like Divinity big. Well, Divinity confusing, I should say. But it's a much. It's a lot. I don't even remember. I don't even know how we would get up because I had sky scale when I came here. So I think I want to say there's stairs somewhere, but I know there's a sewer system, and I don't want to take the sewer system. Sewer system is a bad time. Okay, we're waiting for things to lose. See, this is the sewer system.
Can't afford June Light? You can afford the Brotherhood.
I don't know if the sewer system connects back to the main area or not. I think it does. Okay, yeah, it does. You can kind of go through the sewer system straight through. You'll notice these elevators and other things. There's also a taxi system in this map, which is really cool, and I really wish that they would install them everywhere in the game. The taxi system actually can be used to actually taxi you around. You can actually use it like that. It's so cool. You'll notice that there's canal fish, for example. Another pool fish. Like I said, there's a ton of different pools that you can work with, and they're really cool. And it gets a lot easier. Don't worry, but once you get done going, like, enjoy the ride, I should say. Don't get too overwhelmed by all the different pools and all the different fish and all the different baits. You're really not going to end up using a ton of them. But enjoy the journey while you can. Because once you get to the point where you're a pro fisher, you really only ever do the desert fishing. That's literally the main one. So you end up just using scorpion and mackerel for the rest of your days. So if you catch any mackerel along the way as you fish, and it does happen, keep it, store it. It's very important. And you won't be able to store it in your storage material, in your map materials, similar, like other things, because it's similar to like fish. It's well, it's like a bait, so it's like all other baits where you can't store it, so you have to be careful about not wasting your space. But if you end up having mackerel, keep it. It's extremely important. It's one of the best baits in the fishing map area because it's hard to come by. You can trade it later with an NPC that we're trying to get with cod, but it's going to cost you like 5 fish fillets to do it. Fine fish, the pink ones that we found, the low tier ones, which isn't unreasonable and isn't hard. It's not very expensive either to just buy a full stack off the post. So it's not that big a deal, but you might as well try to save yourself as much gold and profit as you can leading up to it. Because that's the thing about it. When you're getting started, try to save yourself as much money as possible. So I say buy the white fish fillet. And if you don't want to try and level like your crafting or your artificer, you can just avoid that too. Just and try to save yourself as much extra cash as you can. Sorry, we're about to go into the lower section of the city. Like I said, I don't remember if I have to do heart to get through here, but I'll find you the gate at the very least, and you can go from there on the matter. I'm kind of zigzagging a little bit through the city. We're going through cobble and stuff. I can't remember. Yes, okay. I can't remember if there is a section here that passes through into the poor area. But yeah, this leads into Arborstone. And there's also nice, better ways to kind of travel about. The way I got to this map was through the story. I'm pretty sure it led me to the gate because for a long time I didn't know that I could just walk in there, or I didn't figure out that I could just walk into there until the story was going on. So yeah, that at least was good. I can't remember if this one was one I could walk into or if I had to do plot for it. We're a little up high than I was planning, but it's fine. But this it's the second map, and let's see here. Yeah. Try to see if there was a better walkway. I think that I need to be on this side of the road. I'm not very good at directions, but I do always find where I'm going eventually. If you've got Skimmer, then traveling to canals is a lot easier than trying to travel by Raptor. And yeah, I know I could get on my boat and travel, but I'm doing it by Raptor because I feel like most people probably travel this way, simply because they won't feel comfortable with Raptor right away, or they won't feel comfortable with boat right away. Okay, where we at? Okay, cool. We need to head over here, so we're going diagonal. Alright, so I might get on the boat to go that way, because I'm pretty sure the portal's over there. And you'll see, you can also hotkey the boat summoning as well. I never bothered because it's very fickle anyways, but I've seen people do it. Alright, I think this way. If we can't go through, it'll give us a big X over the portal. It's one of them. I think it's up there, actually. It's up the hill. I wanted to say it was Waterway, but I think you have to walk up the stairs up here, and then it'll let you can see where it's at. I know I landed in Arborstone via the story a long time ago, so I don't know if, like I said, I'm not sure if it'll let me go in. There's the gate. Yep. So Arborstone is blocked by story. I think you can TP in there with your friends, but this is your gate. This is your door that you want to go to, and I think the closest waypoint to it is either right here or over here. I'm pretty sure there's one over here somewhere. I'm gonna go find it. But yeah, I was pretty sure that one of the maps was locked, but I couldn't remember if it was this one or if it was Arborstone. But I also figured it would be important to show you the gate because just being able to have it gives you an easier way in. Let's see. Make sure I can find this waypoint. But yeah. So like mostly what you're gonna end up doing for the first bit of your fishing is you're just gonna be leveling up your fishing mastery, get that all fixed up, get to fishing party, and then you use fishing in between to raise your XP. If you go into an area and you've caught all the fish you can get, and then you're like, okay, I need a level more, then just come to this map, fish here, and then just keep doing it that way. You'll end up getting it. But I plan to go back to the other map and finish it, but I want to get this waypoint so that we don't have to worry about trying to get back there. I can teleport back if I need to. Let me see if there is a waypoint that is closer. I thought there was for sure, but it's good. It's always good to have. You'll notice that there's a lot of pests here. This area is annoying because of them by a lot. They are extremely annoying, and they're constantly an issue. So you're gonna have to probably make sure to have yourself up and off the floor when you're here in this region. Now, let me think. Was there anything else I could think of off the top of my head that needs to be done before you bother trying to fish yourself into oblivion until you can get everything? I think that's it. Like I said, I personally would start with SETI and work from there. Just keep fishing there until you get it. I'm almost there myself, so I'll probably finish out fishing it. And then when I get it done, I will come back and show you what it looks like after one mastery point has been obtained. And it gets better with each time you level it up. So give me a moment and I'll do that. Alright, I'm back with it. Okay, so I caught about 20 more fish. Went and got this hero point. You can see where my little journey was. Came over here, caught a little fish, caught some in a pool, caught some just randomly. Caught a little, did the hero point, came out here, caught about 20 more fish. And now that I have now got to the point where my bar is full and filled out. So let me see if it will, what my current fishing stack is. My current default right now, with the shrimp and the fishing lures, is 175, right? And with masteries and stuff, you open this, and there you go. Ta-da! Moving on to the next. So this one reduces the time to catch at fish holes and triple the XP from fishing. So this means that now, instead of it just being a tiny little bit, it also has pool. It also makes it to where the pools respawn faster, because that also contributes to it. So I said fishing is really important. Focus on that as much as you can as you go along. All right, and let's see here. There, try to get this out. Another thing is this. If you were in the middle of a pool, say the pool was still here instead of it because there was one here, you throw your rod in. If you throw your rod in and you think, oh crap, I have the wrong bait, and you pull it in before you catch something, you hear that ding, then it won't take the point away from a pool. So it still has 3 charges. It only is like successful fails or successful succeeds. If you leave your lure in the pool, you get the exclamation point over your head, and you fail to get it, you'll also get that red bing sound, or that sound that sounds like a sharp bing. And you'll lose the bait, and you won't catch the fish. So be listening for that sound, or be watching for the exclamation point. You don't want to waste your bait, and you don't want to waste your efforts. It's extremely important. If you have to sit AFK for a while, then just sit there on your boat without your fishing rod in the pool. You'll save yourself so much time. Now, while I was fishing, I also caught this, which is trash, right? This is a trophy thing. Is you can just sell it. There's a bunch of them. They're part of a collection. They also will get you an ambergris. They get you one, and don't worry, you'll catch all of these at one point. Every single one of them. It's just to be expected. This is something I also accounted for later with my own fishing farm. There's a way to make this profitable as well. I will go into that when we get through the masters with fishing, because this isn't necessary until then. But if you get it, just sell it. Don't worry about it. It's just a little bit of extra something. But there is a way to make this trash profitable. Not by a whole lot, but it makes it better than 16 copper. You know. So there's that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can think of. Whether you fish in open water or in pools, it's about 800. I got 800 XP with mine. My magic find, or my XP, I think it's like either magic find or someone said gold find helps with it. Magic find doesn't help increase fish finding. It's like the but there's one that gives you more XP stat wise. I can't remember what it was. But personally, I've told people before that if you get better Magic Find, it's just better in general. It doesn't really affect fishing. They said that Magic Find doesn't help with the fishing and stuff. Fishing power matters more, right? So, yeah. So no matter what like, if you're getting food for fishing and stuff, it doesn't really matter if there's Magic Find in it. It's about the fishing aspect. I personally that's part of the reason why a lot of people don't use the fishing pancakes that I use, which is in Ascended. But I like to do it because I like to take to the fishing squad area and share with everybody, and it's more cheap for everybody else to do it. And the other benefit to fish pancakes versus the sushi is that the white sushi only lasts 30 minutes, but the fishing pancakes last an hour by default. Now, that's kind of nice at first when you don't have primers. And I've also mentioned, as I said, with Artificer, and I'll also walk through that with this walkthroughs too. It'll be a long process, but I'll walk through on how to like level up cooking and Artificer. But Artificer will actually let you make primers, and primers are essentially like they're kind of like jars or something. The one that I get, it's like in a orange jar, and you'll pop it in. You'll pop it in. You get a little boost thing. It looks like a little apple, and then if you eat a food, it gives it a longer duration. The primers that I use are 2-hour primers, which means that when I pop those and then I eat food, no matter what the food is, it'll get 2 hours like the primer. And seeing that my pancakes last an hour, that gives my fish pancakes an extra hour. And if you are just wanting to use white fish, that primer is extremely useful, because that means instead of having to use 4 white fish, you're only using 1 for 2 hours worth of fishing. Now, another thing I should tell you about fishing foods and primers is that if you log off on the game, say you're like, oh man, I don't have time to do an hour's worth of fishing, or maybe you wanted to do 2 hours of fishing and only got an hour and 30 minutes, and your primers and foods are still going. I might go and actually eat some foods to showcase what they look like so that you know what I'm talking about. But say you're like, oh man, I don't want to, I have to leave, right? So, this tune right here is my fishing tune. I would say make sure to land on a safe spot where there's not much things spawning, or on a building, or at a dock, so that you're not in the water. Otherwise, you wake up in the water and you'll be like, where the fuck am I, and why am I being attacked by crabs? And that's a problem, right? But I'm going to actually go to Lion's Arch real quick, and I'm going to actually buy some fish, food, and I'm going to pop one on, and then I'll show you what the effect looks like. And there is a benefit to having a fishing toon only. A lot of players end up doing this. I don't personally do this with my account, because if I am going to fish, I just use my main account. But some people have a specific toon set aside for it, because if you choose to log off and come back to the game, your boons will not go away. So your fishing boons will not go away. If you leave in an hour after fishing and you have a 2-hour fishing bait on, or food on, or primers on, they will still be there when you get back. It is in-game time, not real time. A lot of players that I've encountered are like, oh, I don't have time to do a 2-hour stuff. I'm wasting stuff. No, you can fish for as long as you want, and as long as you're not in the water, you're not wasting anything. The only thing that gets wasted is your fishing stacks, and honestly, it's not that bad anymore with that, because there's ways to make that go away, right? Which I'm about to explain something else. It's very important. So I'm going to go in here and we're going to buy some fish fillets. I'm going to buy just a few just to show the food. And I'm also going to show you something else. All right, so we're going to do this. We're going to buy 4 of them. I'm not buying a whole ton. You can buy as many as you want. I'm just going to buy 4 because I want this XP building is going to end up accelerating quickly. It will go by pretty quickly over time. Now, I'm going to show you something else that is important. This right here is going to be important. I'm just going to put jerky in. It doesn't always pop up with Zephyr. This is Zephyrite jerky. I've mentioned this to almost every player I've ever met about this. This is your lifeline. All right? Here's why. When we first started having the game, the first game came out, we didn't have this as an option, so people fought fish together. Now, until you get fishing, the fishing stat, you won't need this. Or, you know, it's not going to be something you can actually, like, really make use of. But, or if your friend has a fishing party, I think you can make use of it. So if you have a friend that's got a fishing party, join with them, and then you'll be able to make benefits from this. But buy 4 of them. And if you, like I said, when I get to that part of the leveling, I'll buy 4, and I'll show you how beneficial these are. This is an actual recipe you can get from the 4 Winds event. And I actually got it this year with my main account. It's extremely cheap to make. It's about half a gold to buy. It does spike because when ambergris is high on the market, this goes up in price too. It's pretty, it can go up to about a gold piece for 4 of them, which is not bad, but it can be pricey. Now, the reason I say get 4 of them is that each time you pop one, you'll get a 25 stack of fish. Now, I don't know if it's going to matter with this character since I don't have... You see, it says right there at the bottom that you have to have the fishing party mastery to unlock to increase the fishing party thing. So since I don't have that, I can't really use this just yet. So like I said, wait until your fish mat is maxed out before you buy it. But it gives you about 25 fish to stack. And you'll need 4 of them to get 100. But we're going to worry about that later. But this is something to keep an eye on. You can always buy this now while it's relatively cheap because that's a pretty good price right now. And then store it for later. I think I might craft some and start sending them to the guild. 1 second. Sorry, I had to cough. And it was pretty loud. I think I might make some for my guild and put them in the guild hall for people to utilize. Since they're relatively cheap to make and they're my guild mates. But not a requirement by any means to anyone watching if you have a guild or not. But I'm going to showcase real quick the difference with food versus the normal stuff, right? So you don't have to be on your boat to do this. I just prefer to be on it because it makes me feel more comfortable. And you'll see right here that it gives me the 150 fishing boons. And if you go back to, I think it's right here under your fishing. You'll see right here, I'm at 345. This is extremely good. When you're first starting out, that's extremely helpful because you need to get to about 800 to be doing fantastic, but getting as far up the line as you can is really important. And that's why these masteries are also really important because they add power to you by default. Which one is it? This one? It adds power to your fishing by default, which increases your chances of having better stuff. I think, I wanted to say skiffs did something too, but I don't think they do. Other than making you fast and having some skills to kind of get things to buzzer off. But here's the thing. If I choose to switch out right now with my other two, say I went to my engineer that's on my account instead of having this character, this boon will not break down. So even if you continue to play the game and you play with a different character, this boon will not go away. It is based off the person, this particular tune. So food, and that's with all foods. Any game, any food in the game is like that. So people oftentimes have characters that they have devoted specifically to a specific type of like thing. They got their raid, tune. They got their fractal tune. They've got blah 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 blah. Right? That's what these are. So you don't have to have a fishing tune, but if you want to say you are on a crunch time, whatever, I say make a tune or have one of your tunes that you already have become your fishing tune, and just make sure that they sit somewhere where you're ready to fish. And then when you're ready, you can come and deal with it. Otherwise, you don't have to worry about it. Because like I said, if I switch tunes right now, it's won't matter. And tunes are basically characters to anyone who doesn't know. But instead of saying log out, you can select characters, right? And if I select my engineer and we play as if we're gonna start a game, it's not gonna pop up on his food because he's not eating it, and it's not gonna go down in durations. This is extremely important because of being able to do that. And like I said, worst case scenario, I've told people before, I've had people ask me what's the minimum time that they should be fishing. I say at least an hour. Give it an hour. Even with once you get it all upgraded, as far as like from mastery to there, try to fish like at least an hour at a time, because that's normally you normally have a daytime cycle that you've gone through at that point, because you'll be able to hit night and dusk normally, not all the time, but normally. Depending on where you are, because some maps are specifically some expansions areas are not what's the word? Their daylight cycle is different. I think Corteria's daylight's shorter than its daytime is longer than its nighttime. And then I think in Cantha, the nighttime is longer because fishing is important. Also, so you'll see, like, I don't have fishing boons here because he didn't eat it, so he doesn't have it. Another thing is, if you're in a guild, you'll see that I have Magic Find increased by 10%. You can change this permanent boon out with each tune, I think. And you can go to the guild hall and change them out if your guild hall has it, because it's a leveling thing. My character has it leveled, or our guild has it leveled so that we have these boons, and they're permanent so long as you're wearing the guild's tag. If you take the guild's tag off, that it goes away. Our guild's not special like that, it's all of them. But that's the thing. And you can get XP, guild XP, and that will increase your XP when you're farming anything, and you can also do it for like nodes and stuff too. Another thing is that if you're wanting to try and build XP faster, because fishing is a slow way to build XP, it's just something you can do to get practice and have time to do it and make a little bit of money while you're first going. It's very slow at first. I say do map completions of SETI and stuff. I'll probably do that with myself. I'll probably start completing the map, because it's important to have map completions in general, because then you have like extra XP and loot, and it gives you a lot of good rewards. And you get like gifts for legendaries and stuff. So it's kind of nice. But it's also, so there's other ways to get XP. You can go level up, you can go kill a bunch of world bosses, whatever the case may be. The only difference is you gotta make sure that when you're leveling stuff, that you don't, once the bars fill, immediately click on it and select it, because you'll lose out on the opportunity to do it. This one, for instance, which one is it? This is the next one I'm working on. This one, I think, why does it look so much higher than it actually is? I don't know. Anyways, but like once it gets popped, if you don't have enough masteries to unlock it, you'll be wasting XP. If that happens, say you've gotten here, you've gotten stuck, you're trying to get masteries, move to the next thing. So for instance, if you get up here, you get this bar filled, but you have like, say like right now I have only one. Don't keep just wasting it. Go to the next thing, click on it, because you can train it up and train that up, and just keep doing that list. Don't waste your XP. There may be a time where you end up getting stuck like that. If that happens, don't panic. But don't waste your XP if you can help it. It'll help get you kind of built up, and then you get a nice start, and then you don't have to worry about it. But I've told people to do map completions. It's faster, other than just fishing, and it gives you a chance to get more waypoints, get more exploring going, and it gives you a nice start into it all. But that's going to be it for this video as far as these two parts. I will continue to give more update, like a more educated talk. We'll just kind of slowly go up to it. I'll reiterate things oftentimes and repeat them several times in videos, because I know that it's a lot to kind of absorb, and sometimes it's just a little easier just to repeat it so that people remember, oh yeah, don't eat this, don't do this until I'm ready for this, you know? So yeah, until then, try and like, you know, fish up your things. If you can get some masteries through story or other achievements, then go ahead. I'll link the list below for the daytime timer, and I'll also link the Guild Wars 2 wiki for the mastery lists, so that you can see what masteries you can work with, because there are ways to get masteries that don't require you to go story. If you don't want to spoil the story for you, you can go out other ways. But you will have to end up spoiling yourself a little bit, or you're going to have someone play the first chapter for you, so that you're not getting, if you don't want any spoilers to content. I've had some people have their partners play it for them so that they don't have to see it, so that they don't know too much. But like I said, it's kind of the risk of it if you want to go for it. But that'll be it, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.
And we can just dance the night away until we get no more. I'll shake all the hurt away so you